just sat by the pool saving insects that flew into it.
I'm gonna die like fucking Noah. That's crazy. Nothing good.
How were you saving them? Did you wait for them to hit the water, then fish them out, or you grab them in the air?
Did you see the legs going?
Oh God!
Stuck my finger on the top. They grabbed on, lifted it off.
And what? When some sort of insect lifeguard, you'd see someone land and you go, right, that's me, and you'd go in there.
But it's hard to turn sort of a blind eye to stuff like that, because you know that's something, you're witnessing death. And if you can save something, you do, don't you? You do your bit. And at night, I'd sort of think, have they learnt the lesson, or will they be back, and will they be dead in here tomorrow? But if they can get an extra day, I've done my bit. I can't do more than that. I'm on holiday, do your bit. I'm lucky enough to see the world, do your bit.
I love it.
I did my bit.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that he was running around saving flies and things.
There's something so sort of...
Meanwhile, an old lady drowned.
Yeah.
While he was saving a beetle.
There's something so kind of, I don't know, desperately existential about your diary. That's what's so extraordinary about it. As he says, I just sat by the pool saving insects that flew into it. It was full of death. It's just so, it's so depressing.
Right.
We walked round the shops. Suzanne's dad bought 2 packets of the biscuits he'd like to take back home with him. Suzanne's mum bought a tin of corned beef. It was a bit of a boring day today.
Jesus.
There was a dead bird out the back.
Oh no, where were you, Carl?
Suzanne's dad said it looked like it had flown into a wall and killed itself.
No, I think it caught a few insects, but they were covered in chlorine, so it poisoned it.
Loads of ants were eating it.
Oh God.
I dug a hole under a tree and buried it. The ants were still all hanging around the scene of the death ages after the burial. Suzanne's dad said I should have left the bird for the ants to eat because I was messing up the food chain. I felt bad, so I gave the ants some breadcrumbs.
This is weird.
It's
good bread out there, though, isn't it? I should have put that.
We have to eat all the food we've got because we're going home tomorrow. Suzanne's mum cut her finger opening the corned beef tin and fainted.
Sorry, this is really weird. Why do you have to eat all the food?
Isn't this like what's that film, the Amityville Horror, where there's like a haunted house and there's dead insects and ghostly children walking through the corridors, old people fainting, insects. I'm just saving the insects, mother.
But you always eat all the food that's in the fridge before you go home, don't you? It's all there to be eaten. She bought some pikelets, which I've never had them. They like squash crumpets.
Right, okay, start again. Start the whole thing again. She bought some what?
Some pikelets.
Pikelets?
Yeah. And I didn't like them because they're not as fat as crumpets.
Oh God! It's like a different
Didn't
language.
eat them, and it was a big upheaval because, like, I was going home and her dad kept trying to sneak them into our bags. Because it's like, they were for you, you take them. We don't want your stuff in our house once, because he gets a bit funny about stuff being left over. There's bins that you can't put certain stuff in. There's a bin in the lounge and I put a tangerine peel in it. He goes, that sort of stuff does not go in that bin. So it's rubbish, yeah, but it's not the right sort of rubbish.
Someone will camp next to it.
We want to get a better class of camper. Oh, that's the book. It's called Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish.
Yeah, that's from one of the chapters in it.
By Carl Pilkington. Get that soon.
Particularly if you're thinking of visiting Madeira or Australia.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. Thanks for listening to this. If you enjoyed this and you haven't heard the others, we've got the whole all 3 series on iTunes. You can go and download those.
The Ricky Gervais Show, is that what it's called?
It's called The Ricky Gervais Show. Yeah. Carl's also made a programme for me, Steve, on my Fame DVD out in November. It's called Fame. So I thought of a little title, Fame, I'm Gonna Live Forever. Remember that guy we met who's gonna live forever?
Oh, yeah.
Called Howard?
Yeah.
That was a meeting of mine, and it's Carl meeting Howard, and it's
Got on with him.
It's really good, isn't it? It's really good, and he really gets on with him, and we're probably gonna do a new series of the podcast maybe next year. What do you think, Carl? If you're not too busy making this film with Clive Warren.
We'll see how it goes. Don't plan anything.
Yeah, just check out rickygervais.com. I am Ricky Gervais. With me, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Carl.
Right.
Testing. Hello? Testing. This is a special transmission. A special one-off show. With me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And the little bald mank twat that is the shaven monkey known as Carl Pilkington.
Right.
Now, Rick, just a quick question, because if people have just stumbled across this, perhaps on the internet or on their TV channel, they're probably going to be a little bit alarmed by what you've said there. You've come straight in with little bald mank twat, and a lot of people don't know who that little bald mank twat is, so maybe you should clarify.
Well, I'm Ricky Gervais. You probably know me from such shows as The Office and Extras, cameos in the odd film. My long-term partner, not in that way, Stephen Merchant.
Not in that way. Stephen Merchant, yes, I was involved with some of those projects, but I've not been in a film.
And we met Carl when we went back to XFM as Conquering Heroes. We were let go when XFM changed hands, and then we did The Office, and then we came back, and we were big shots. No longer did we need to run the desk or press any buttons, so we were assigned, how can I put this, like a stupid lackey.
Yes. Proper. Probably the person who was lowest on the rung.
I'd have thought so.
Station.
They said, "Oh, give it to me. No one wants to work Saturdays."
The caretaker didn't work Saturdays, so they gave us Carl.
And we met Carl, and I was first struck by the roundness of his head. I'll be honest. I thought, this is a bald man, a little round-headed bald freak of a man. He opened his mouth. He spoke funny. Actually, he spoke without opening his mouth. That was the second thing that struck me. He just had this slack-jawed gimpness about him. Words came out.
I think they get the idea now. Anyway,
Do you feel that was a balanced explanation of your meeting with us, or would you like to offer any extra detail there, Carl?
Well, with every meeting, there's a different story, isn't there? The way you sort of looked at me and thought, he's weird. I saw Steve. It was like a triangle. Ricky was looking at me. I was looking at you, thinking that's weird.
It seems unjust that I'm why aren't you having a go at Ricky for being fat and
just because
old?
No, I'm just saying on the first meeting,
right?
It's like a museum, isn't it? Everybody rushes to the weird stuff first.
I love the fact that you're putting yourself firmly in that category as well, though. Oh, I love that. That's great. Like someone from Reservoir Dogs. Everyone looking at someone else.
But you don't feel that way about me anymore.
No, I've got used to it. No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying you that whatever your accusations of weirdness were, they all were unfounded.
It moves on, doesn't it? It's like anything. You get used to a look, don't you? I watch a lot of programs on stuff that people have up with them, and
you only watch programs about people that got something wrong with them. That is what you do. If ever you say, "Do you see that thing last night?" It's going to be something like the kid who was born with too many legs, or the baby with an arse for a head. It's always going to be stuff like that.
It's like there was a program on a bit back about a fella who had a funny head and what have you, and he lived in a small village, and nobody double taked anymore because you get used to it. Don't
what was up with his head?
Just had he was sort of like the new Elephant Man. He'd sort of gone for that look.
He'd gone for that look. And what does he do in the morning? Just eat a bun, sort of shave?
It's just that's all I'm saying is people in his village. You want a big village. People are used to it, and they're no longer scared. And that's what I'm saying with you.
But it's interesting that because you say you've acclimatised to my so-called weirdness. I don't know what weirdness that is. I've still not grasped that. But Ricky continues. What?
It's just the eyes.
Well, at you and your stupid round head like a orange. Which is the thing which perpetually entertains Ricky. Ricky is never acclimatised to you. Is that fair, Rick?
Yeah, I love it. I can't get enough of him because I see different things every time I look at Carl. Sometimes I see like a completely sort of like spherical object, right? Like honestly, like some sort of pumpkin on Halloween. And then I see flat straight
with
on
a pumpkin, Rick, with a jack-o'-lantern outside someone's house, right? There is a certain light behind the eyes. Not with Carl.
And then sometimes he looks like a plate. Do you know what I mean? Like like a clay plate that a child has made.
When they've made a face on the plate using their food.
Or a biscuit, like one of those biscuits, novelty biscuits you can buy at your birthday.
Can ice with a little smile into mine.
Yeah, but that's not the I think that's not the biggest thing. But Carl, it isn't his physicality, isn't it the roundness of his head, it isn't the gimpness of his slack-jawed face. It's not even his hairy body and sort of like chimp-like gait. It is.
Although those are all key features.
These are all key features, but it's his incredible mind. And I think maybe over the next 2 hours or so, if you haven't heard of Carl, then I think you're in retreat. If you have heard of Carl, then you're already being treated, I think, by the fact that he is present on this special broadcast.
Rick, can I suggest that we take a pause there, play some music, come back and we'll talk some more?
Oh, this isn't just about Carl. We're playing some great tunes. Arctic Monkeys, Fluorescent Adolescent. Talking of monkeys, we're here with Carl Pilkington. I say we, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
Doing a special one-off broadcast. Now, it's special in the sense that I don't know why it's special. I started that sentence. I had no. I had no backup. It's not particularly special. We've done this thousands of times. Well, it's special in the sense
you got the old team back together.
Exactly. It's special in the sense that it is a one-off.
Yeah.
That's why it's a special one-off. It's special in the sense that it is a one-off.
I know it's special for me because I'm giving up a time, about 3 or 4 hours of my time for no money and no personal gain. So
well,
it's a special treat
you
for
say
me
that. Now, Sammy Jacob, right, is the guy that founded XFM and gave me and Steve our break in entertainment or whatever, comedy. I remember also on the second day, he said, when are you two going to do some work before I fire?
Yes.
Which was...
and I vowed that no one would ever say that again.
Yeah.
And
so he called me out of the blue and said, we're launching Enemy Radio. I thought that's a good project. I'm a fan of the genre. Right, will you do a special show? Right, I called Steve. Steve went, I called Carl and he went, definitely not. And so I had to persuade these two miserable bastards to do this show. Carl, why didn't you want to do this? As a favour, I said to Carl, let's do it. Let's do well. There's 2 reasons I wanted to do this. One, we'd stop the podcast. Yeah. Carl, we charged for the podcast because you'd left work, and we did very, very well with that. And I thought I want to give something back to the fans. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, right. 2, I want to do Sammy a favour. Why not? Okay,
well, that's fair. That's your opinion.
Yeah, but you, yes.
But what you can't do when you're doing someone a favour, you can't go, yeah, Steve and Carl feel the same about it. Yeah, of course I'll do it, Sammy. Well, of course Carl will do you a favour, the man you've never met and you've never done a favour for yourself. Well, of course he'll do it.
Well, hold on. Steve didn't want to do it either. He was busy. He works on 6 Music, so he was worried about that. He shouldn't really be doing it.
I shouldn't really be doing this. And I'll tell you this, if you do love great new music and lively chat, then 6 Music Sunday afternoons is a great place to be with the Steve Merchant Show.
I agree. There's enough for everyone to go round. Yeah. Enjoy that, enjoy this. But Steve does it a favour to me. I said, Steve, all right, mate, you've done me enough favours. Yeah. Yes, I will. Okay? You didn't fall for that. I said, as a favour to me. No, he didn't. I even started an internet campaign to put in the poster up saying, Carl, do some work, you little lazy bastard. After a month, he was begging me to stop it.
I wasn't begging you. It was just a bit stupid.
You were really annoyed.
Yeah, what I like, though, it's interesting because you're a busy man, Rick, and I know you've been heavily involved with lots of projects. How you found time, because you don't like writing and doing any form of administration at any time. How you found time to write a daily blog is quite remarkable.
Well, I knew it was irritating him.
Right.
It was. It captured the imagination of people all over the world. I wanted him to do this podcast, and here we are. What changed your mind, Carl?
Well, you kept going on about it.
Yeah.
And then I thought
you saw friendship was an important thing.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Now I've got to tell Steve something on air that Steve doesn't know about. Me and Steve are doing this for free as a favour. I'm doing it as a favour to Sammy. Steve's doing it as a favour for me. That's what friends are for. Carl has negotiated himself some money.
Yeah, well, this.
Who the hell have you negotiated money from?
With Sammy, I didn't know him. I owe this man nothing. Well, I'm not doing anything for free. I've got bills to pay. We've all got bills to pay, right?
Oh.
You've got other work that brings you money in.
Let me just stop because...
Sick of it.
Wait, though, because this is interesting. Because, as you say, Rick, you're doing this as a favour to Sammy. He gave you your big break. Now, Rick, you gave me my big break, right? I didn't know Sammy. Ricky gave me a break. I'm doing this as a favour to Ricky.
Oh, hold on.
Who the hell gave Carl Pilkington
Who?
There's one man in this room who wouldn't even have an agent, wouldn't even have a need for an agent if it weren't for Mr. Ricky Gervais. But hang on a minute, it's not me. I'm already thanking you, Rick, by
Nice one, Steve.
This free show. So hang on a
You
minute.
miserable, ungrateful little mank twat. Yeah, it's real. I hope you feel really bad.
I don't feel bad.
Me and Steve are doing it out of the kindness of our heart.
Yeah, free.
You're money grabbing again. They're also on the internet. How mean he is.
I'm not mean.
You are mean, Carl. Because we did those paid podcasts, and all I wanted to do was some free ones. You wouldn't do it
Because we've done it now. I'm just saying you've got to get to a point when you go, I enjoyed that. Yeah, the podcasts were all right. Cut them off. You don't keep the story going. With the Bible, they didn't go, let's do another volume. People seem to like this story.
Yes, they did.
What?
The New Testament. The Old Testament was a
Yeah,
massive
right. They did it
success.
once then. They did like a special for the fans. But all I'm saying is...
One sequel.
But they didn't keep going on. And we did 3 lots of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's more than enough for anyone.
But I just wanted to give the people on the internet something back.
Yeah, well, we've given them enough. Sick of the people on the internet always moaning.
Why? Who am I?
Just moan.
Who do?
People do. Sick of it. Calling me Graham. They said I'm not even real. They said he's an actor. He's called Graham. That annoyed me. That's the thing that annoyed me the most. Graham. If I'm not me, what am I? That's the thing that annoyed me most.
If you're not me, what am I?
Well, it would annoy me if someone was accusing me of something. Because that's the thing. No, it annoyed you because they were stating a falsehood.
Yeah, that's what annoys me. That's what did me head in.
Let's play a record. We'll be back with Carl after this. Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. He's from your neck of the woods, isn't he?
Wigan.
Yeah, we were just discussing
The fact how miserable and mean Carl is. He won't do anyone a favour.
Do favours. I shifted your telly.
Oh, hold on. He shifted my telly. I gave him a television. I gave him a bed. He went, I shifted your bed. No, I gave you a bed. That's how he couches things.
I cashed that bloody cheque you wrote to me.
Unbelievable.
Who's the last person you did a favour for where you weren't expecting something in return?
I'm always treating people. I've told you, if I have a good day, at the end of it, I'll go, do you know what? I'll treat them.
Treat who?
It might be a homeless fella. It might be some charity. I'm sick, honestly, the amount of money I give away
It might be a girlfriend
about it.
who got a lovely new camera for Christmas, still wrapped up from when it was given to you as a leaving present.
So...
all this stuff about you're doing so much for charity. You honestly tell me, you think you're walking along, you're whistling, oh, I've had a great day, me. A, you never have a great day.
No, I've never seen you have a great day. It doesn't matter what. It's unbelievable. You're whinging all the time, miserable. Nothing impresses you, nothing at all. The best I've ever heard you was, I was alright at that.
Well, tell us about the last time you had a great day. What was the last great day you had where you thought, oh, I must end this by giving some money to a homeless fella?
I mean, yeah, I don't have a great day. but what I mean is, a day when I go, do you know what? I'm quite content.
That's amazing.
It's a long way from a good day.
That is the equivalent of him skipping along.
No, every night before I nod off, I lie there and I think, what sort of a day have I had? And I'll go through it and I'll go, yeah, that was alright.
How boring is that?
No, it's good. You've got to do that. Otherwise, what was the point of the day? If you're never going to look back on it and go, what have I done? Yeah, that was alright. What's the point of it happening?
But how often do you go, wow, I've really achieved a lot today? Because I remember one day at random, you told us you'd been to the Cobblers and back.
I didn't even know Cobblers still existed.
Yeah, that was a 24-hour period we were talking about there. You kept a diary. It mainly consisted of had a chip butty in a cafe with Suzanne. And then you talk about an old woman you saw.
No,
that was your day.
I've made it a thing that I do now, that I like to learn something every day. And then,
go on, what have you learned today?
Well, I haven't done anything yet.
Brilliant.
But what I'm saying
What
is,
did you learn yesterday?
I've learned you're not a generous man. You're a mean bastard. You don't repay.
And that's coming from Steve Merchant.
I'm just saying, as long as I always think if you've learned something, then the day's not been wasted.
What have you learned yesterday? What have you learned yesterday?
It was something you told me about the monkey arm.
Right, yeah. There's scientists have done the first brain robot interface. They've put like 100 electrodes on the part of the cortex that is for your motor system, and they put it on a monkey's brain, and through the power of thought he learned how to use a robot arm.
Wow.
So just by thought, just like you do your own arm, you know, and it took him a few days, not years. In a few days, this monkey was making this robot arm pick up grapes and put it in his own mouth through the power of thought. Right? Carl went, did he have his own arms? I went, yeah. He went, well, he's lazy then.
Don't you think it's a bit wasted on a chimp? One, what's it doing? All they ever do is eat or chuck shit about. So why give them a decent new robotic arm?
Well, who are you going to give it to?
I just mean give it to something that is going to get more use out of it.
What, a giraffe?
No, something more. If they could link that up to a worm, I'd go, that's good.
Well, how could a worm